What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 473, another Red October Victory Monday edition of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's episode number 473. KB coming at you a little early in the morning. Your boy has been fighting for his life with his allergies and had a massive sinus headache post-Eagles victory, but we are here getting this pod out for you guys because the Phils, the Eagles, the Union, the Sixers, and the Flyers, all pretty much in season now, are ready to rock and roll. And shout out to the Wingies, too, the Philadelphia Wings. Don't count them out because they're going to be rocking and rolling this year as well. But we're talking about the Fightins. The Fightin' Phils are moving on to the NLCS. The Eagles are 6-0, undefeated going into the bye week. And the Philadelphia Union kick off their chase for a championship this week against a long-time pain-in-the-ass FC Cincinnati. And the Philadelphia 76ers season is somehow here starting on Tuesday night. We're going to dive into all of it because it's sunny in Philadelphia, baby. But before we get started, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at UndergroundPHI on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.com/UndergroundSportsPHI, Twitch.tv/UndergroundSportsPHI. You can follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311. Make sure you guys subscribe to the podcast feed. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, we're there. Subscribe. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. It really goes a long way for helping more people find the show, lets them know what we're all about. And it really helps us continue to grow and do the cool, dope things that we want to do and bring the best possible content to you guys. So subscribe to the podcast feed and subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. You get full video episodes of all of our podcasts on the network. We're riding high right now, guys. You don't want to miss the video content we're putting out. Subscribe. We're on that road to 1K Gauntlet Challenge. Currently at 254 YouTube subscribers. We've got a long ways to go. But make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Smash that like button. Ring the bell icon. Comment down below your thoughts on the Fightin' Phils, the Eagles, the Union, the Sixers, the Flyers, the Wings. All of them. Let us know down below in the comment section. Big shout out to our sponsors who make this show happen. Main Auto LLC, Ducharme's Profoot, Security 21 Security Systems, Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated, and the Dental Wellness Center of Vineland. Let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. The Fightin' Phils are moving on to the NLCS for the first time since 2010. They take care of the Atlanta Braves, the Barvs, the losers, the former defending champs, 3-1. The vibes were true to roof post-Wednesday. I felt like some things were off on Wednesday when the game got a little postponed. Matt and I were previewing the game live for the first few minutes of it while we were recording last week's pod. But in true Phillies fashion, they take care of business on the weekend, and we're in the corner watching them kiss them. Just kidding. I'm not going full freestyle. But, man, dancing on our own to the NLCS. The Phillies beat the Braves on Friday 9-1 and then 8-3 on Saturday to clinch the NLCS berth. First time in Phillies postseason history that they've scored at least 8 or more runs in back-to-back games. Noah Syndergaard, Thor, comes through. Comes down from Asgard and gets the job done, opening the game for the Phils on Saturday. Aaron Nola, fantastic on Friday. And the offense just doing the damn thing. Reese Hoskins with an all-time Phillies moment. That bat spike will be replayed for generations. JT Realmuto with an inside-the-park home run. Bryce Harper's hit that John home run. This team, Brandon Marsh, the bearded wonder, my boy. This team, man, they are playing with ultimate good vibes right now. Just watching them close. Sir Anthony hitting the night at the end of the game on Saturday to close it out. The Phillies are going to the NLCS in a season where they were 7 games under 500 around Memorial Day. Come early June, Rob Thompson goes on an 8-game win streak, and it felt like nobody could touch us. We lose multiple series to pretty bad teams down the stretch. Like 2.5 weeks ago, we were losing 14-3 to the Nationals in a series we weren't sure all the games were going to get in. And now the Phillies are going to the NLCS. Like, this is beyond any expectations, but it goes to show you what Matt said since March. He has more faith in this team winning the World Series than getting into the playoffs. And they are 4 wins away from going to the World Series. Like, that is so wild to wrap my brain around that it's something I didn't expect for this season whatsoever. Did I expect them to make the playoffs? Absolutely. They needed to. It was a must-make-the-playoffs type of season for the Philadelphia Phillies. But the fact that they've defied all the odds, gotten in as the final wild card that was just added this season, they go and take care of business against St. Louis in a series that, was vindication for a decade-long drought of postseason. And then the Atlanta Braves, the defending champs, a heated rival, come into town. We go there. We split. We steal game 1. They come into town. We absolutely embarrass them. And it punches the Phillies' ticket to the NLCS. I said it all along. Like, you look at the regular season against the Braves this year, remove that 3-game sweep, throw it in the trash. Phillies are 500 against the Braves in 2022. And then it gets redirected, and overall the Phillies finished 1 game under 500 against the Atlanta Braves this year. It's absolutely insane that come Tuesday, we are going to be watching Game 1 of the NLCS in California against the San Diego Padres, of all teams. And the Phillies are going to be playing. Phillies postseason baseball. Phillies baseball is happening on October 18th, 2022. That is just so crazy to think about. I've said it time and time again. This is a moment I have dreamed of for so long. It's something we've dreamt of since we started doing this podcast. The fact that the Phillies are moving on to the NLCS under what was an interim manager for the entire rest of the regular season up until this Atlanta series. They're getting hot at the right time. They're playing like a team. The vibes are immaculate. They've got a team victory song. Like, I wanted to cry on Saturday when it happened. Like, I was just so overwhelmed. I was ecstatic. I am ecstatic. I shouldn't say was. It's not in the past. I am ecstatic. I am overwhelmed. I am emotional. This is the Phillies have not been in the playoffs since I was in high school. I've been out of high school for as long as the Phillies have been out of the playoffs until now. And you always told yourself, oh, they'll get back. They'll get back. Don't worry. It took a long freaking time for them to get back. And I just am so... I'm just happy, man. This team brings me so much happiness and joy. Like, this season is already a wild success, and, like, hopefully this is not the end. Hopefully the NLCS is just the launching pad for more. But the Phillies' season as a success in 2022 has been beyond expectation, beyond a success. And the NLCS, man, like, we're playing to go to the World Series. We are vying for a trip to go to the World Series as a wild card. And the NLCS this year is 2 wild cards, the final 2 teams. Excuse me, I'm just waking up. The final 2 teams to get into the playoffs that were fighting for wild card spots, the final 2 wild card spots, are the teams getting in to the NLCS. The teams that Baseball Reference had the worst percentage odds to get to the World Series, 1.5 and 1.3% respectively for the Padres and the Phillies to get to the World Series, are the 2 teams competing for a World Series. And the Phillies are one of the final 4 teams standing. It's the Phillies, the Padres, the Houston Astros, and to be determined between the Yankees and Guardians. Like, it's so crazy. And it just feels like something is in the air. And just, like, this is a team of destiny. Shout out to Sixers Adam. This team just continues to defy the odds, continues to make you reset your expectations, and continues to show everybody that they're not a fluke. They can play as a team. The team camaraderie is at an all-time high. This team went out to Xfinity Live after they won. We're popping bottles on fans, taking pictures with fans, signing Zyn containers for fans. Brandon Marsh was rapping DMX. Shout out to our 100 new followers. And shout out to UK Phillies. My boy Dave getting to come through for the weekend and living his best life. Shout out to our 100 new followers on Twitter. Welcome to the show. Hopefully you guys tune in. The Phillies went out and celebrated with the fans. They want to do this for the city. They want to do this for the fans. Brandon Marsh rapping DMX at Xfinity Live is an all-time moment. Bryce Harper popping champagne bottles at Xfinity Live is an all-time moment. Rhys Hoskins bat spike. I want to say bike spat. Bat spike. All-time moment. JT Realmuto's 15.4 seconds around the base to get an inside-the-park home run, the very first postseason inside-the-park home run by a catcher in baseball history, is an all-time moment. This team is creating moments that we will remember for the rest of our lives in this postseason run. Aaron Nola is flipping off all the doubters and all the haters about him being a big-game pitcher. Zach Wheeler continues to dominate. I mean, this team, man. This team. It makes me so happy that they are succeeding and thriving, and I have some stats, too, that are always fun. Gotta pull them up here. Excuse me once again. Bookmarks. Here we go. Seven pitchers in MLB history have started their postseason careers 2-0 with a 0 earned run allowed and 6+ innings pitched in their first 2 starts. Christy Mathewson in 1905. Ever heard of him? Waite Hoyt in 1921. Carl Hubble in 1933. Mike Boddicker in 1983. Steve Avery in 1991. Corey Kluber in 2016. And Aaron Nola in 2022. Come on now. Stop playing with us. Phillies' run differential in this series was the second best, I believe, or I'm sorry, it was the Phillies' run differential in their first postseason games, I should say. Over their last 25 postseason games at Citizens Bank Park since October 1st, 2008, the Phillies are 18-7 with a plus 62 run differential. In MLB postseason history, the only other club with a better run differential at home over 25 games was the New York Yankees from October 7th, 1927 to October 1st, 1947, where they went plus 63. Come on now. Stop playing with the boys. This next stat's brought to you by our friends over at Pickup. You guys can go to playpickup.com. Start playing the hottest headlines in sports. Football's here. They got all the football props you can think of. College football, NFL, baseball playoffs, basketball's getting underway this week. Hockey is here. NASCAR, you name it, they got it. Go to playpickup.com now and start playing those headlines. Minimum of 25 games, best postseason winning percentage in MLB at home since October 3rd, 2007, the day Citizens Bank Park hosted its first postseason game. Number 5, LA Dodgers at Dodger Stadium, a .623 winning percentage. Houston at Minute Maid, a .634 winning percentage. San Francisco at Oracle Park, formerly AT&T Park, .643. Number 2, Boston at Fenway, a .649 winning percentage. And the Phillies at Citizens Bank Park, a .654 winning percentage. That's why this NLCS, going to Cali for those first 2 games. This is the NLCS schedule, by the way. Game 1 will be Tuesday, starting at 8:03 p.m. Eastern Time. Game 2, Wednesday at 4:35 p.m. Eastern Time. Game 3 will be on Friday at Citizens Bank Park at 7:37 p.m. Eastern Time. Game 4 on Saturday at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Game 5, if necessary, will be Sunday at 2:37 p.m. Eastern Time. Game 6, if necessary, will be on Monday at 8:03 p.m. Eastern Time. And Game 7, if necessary, Tuesday, October 25th at 8:03 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, I saw our dear friend, our good friend, Brooke Destra tweet out that it's wild that there's no travel day from Game 5 to Game 6. Well, hey, guess what, Brooke? The Phils aren't going back to San Diego after Game 2. That's how I feel. The Phillies just have to steal one game in California and take care of business the rest of the way at home. Steal one game in San Diego, which the Phillies went 4-3 against the Padres this year in the regular season. This is also revenge because the Padres are the team that injured Bryce Harper earlier in the year, hit him on the hand, and that's why he missed 2 months. Revenge season. There's so many storylines built into this series. It's Manny versus Bryce, Juan Soto and Bryce, Kyle Schwarber and Juan Soto in the home run derby. You got Aaron Nola and Austin Nola. You got JT Realmuto and Jorge Alfaro. Alfaro obviously was traded for JT to the Marlins back when we got JT. There's a lot of storylines built into this series, and it's 2 teams that are starving for a World Series berth. Phillies obviously haven't been since 2009. The Padres... in the World Series have not been since 1998. All I'm saying is the vibes right now is go fuck yourself, San Diego. Shout out to Anchorman. But I'm just like giddy, like thinking about it. Like this is the most meaningful baseball we've had since 2011. And it's even more like in your face and better than 2011 was because we lost in the first round. It is just such a cool feeling. It's surreal to know that the Phillies are heading to the NLCS for a trip to go to the World Series against a team that they've had success against. Now, you can't take them lightly because the Padres are playing great baseball right now, too. This is going to be a dogfight of a series. I just don't want to see it go back to San Diego once we come home. Clinch it at home. Phillies in 5. Let's make that happen. This team is too good. They've been doing this with guys struggling as well, which is crazy to think about. And I think overall, like, the Phillies have the talent. They have the wherewithal to get through a series with the Padres, and I think they're going to be able to get the job done. I really, really do. I feel so good about this team right now. I'm excited to see where things go. Hopefully, by Wednesday's show, Matt and I are talking about it either being, 2-0 Phillies or a 1-1 split. Because Game 2 will be 4:35 p.m. We'll lead right after. We'll be your perfect post-game show live to talk about all this. And, also, apparently, big fan of Brandon Marsh is former NFL wide receiver and current free agent Jalen Strong, Philadelphia native Jalen Strong. Might be coming on the podcast very, very soon. He's a big Phils fan. Big Brandon Marsh guy, too. He's friends with B. Marsh, so we are working on scheduling it to get Jalen Strong on the podcast to talk all things Red October, talk some NFL with us, and I'm looking forward to getting Jalen Strong on the program. That video of Brandon Marsh, man. Shout out to the new hundo. But the Phillies are going to the NLCS, guys. The NLCS. I'm just so happy. I am so happy. You have no idea. But shifting gears from the Phils to the undefeated Birds, and it's brought to you by our friends over at Trophy Smack. Elevate your fantasy smack talk at TrophySmack.com. They've got it all from belts, rings, trophies, you name it, they got it. Go to TrophySmack.com/underground to get your hands on the upgrade you need for your fantasy sports leagues. That's TrophySmack.com/underground. TrophySmack.com/underground. Big thank you to Trophy Smack for being partners with this show. The Eagles, guys. The Birds, they are buzzing. They beat the stupid Dallas Cowboys 26-17. They finally silence all the national hype around Cooper Rush and the Dallas Cowboys. They absolutely blitzkrieged them on offense in the first half, put up 20 points on the Cowboys, which no team had done all year. Great performance. It was sloppy at times, but overall, very solid performance. Lane Johnson gets a concussion in this game. Don't know. I mean, I do know how much that shifts, the protection for Jalen Hurts as much as he's able to do on that side of the field. And obviously, Lane Johnson is a future first ballot Hall of Famer. So that shifts a little bit of, what the Eagles were able to do up front. But the biggest takeaway is you can't ease up in the second half. The Eagles got to attack every single game, every single quarter like it's the second quarter. They have the most points scored in a second quarter to start a season in NFL history now. They need to be able to put together a full, complete 60 minutes, and I hope that's what they use the bye week for. But they are 6-0 going into the bye week, like I said they would be. The Cowboys looked lifeless in that first half. Then they score 7 points and 7 points to make it close. But in my opinion, this game was never really that close. Cowboys had like 2 plays in there that made it seem like a bigger deal than it was. Cooper Rush is so overrated. And it went from Cowboys fans being like, oh, we have the next coming of Steve Young behind Joe Montana, and Cooper Rush, what a quarterback controversy we have, blah blah blah, to man, I can't wait for Dak Prescott to be back. Cowboys fans are such fucking frauds, guys. If you're believing the hype behind Cowboys fans, you're kidding yourself. their passing attack was horrendous in this game. They couldn't do anything against the Eagles. The Eagles held all of their receivers under 70 yards. Their most yards gained was Ezekiel Elliott on the ground, and it was off of a couple of big runs that just shouldn't have happened, but they did. Cooper Rush, 18 of 38 for 181 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, CJ Gardner-Johnson, he is the real fucking deal. He is a weapon. Just continues to impress. 2 interceptions in this game. Big play Slay with the interception in this game as well. Gives the ball out to Meek Mill's son. Meek Mill performs pregame. Just pulled out all the bells and whistles to silence the critics, silence the doubters. And this team, man, vibes are high. The vibes are high, everybody. The Eagles are doing all the right things. They are playing as a team. The energy is there. They're approaching each and every week like a 1-0 thing. They're not looking at it at the big picture right now. Which I think, for all intents and purposes, is a brilliant thing to do. They're never satisfied with the outcome of a game. They continue to attack each and every game like it's, an elimination game. And Jalen Hurts is leading this team with poise, direction, authority, and there's nobody else I'd rather have leading this team right now. Like, sure, the Josh Allens of the world are great. The Patrick Mahomes of the world are great. But, man, Jalen Hurts is continuing to prove so many people wrong. I absolutely love it. Nobody believes in him except for Eagles fans that are true Eagles fans. And that's the way I want it to be. Keep doubting our quarterback. Keep doubting the guy who has faced adversity everywhere he's gone. Just continue to fuel his fire. That's what I love that. Jalen goes 15 of 25 for 155 yards and 2 touchdowns. Did not have to do too much in this game. Ran for 27 yards on the ground. Miles Sanders continued to be very impressive. 71 yards on 18 carries and a touchdown. Swole Batman and Skinny Batman both get into the end zone on Jalen's 2 passing touchdowns. This team, man, 6-0 going into the bye week. We get to enjoy a bye week next week where the Cowboys are forcing Dak Prescott back into action to play against the Detroit Lions. Somehow the New York Giants are 5-1 and in second place in the division. Who they play next week is beyond me, but I'm going to pull it up here. The Giants next week take on the Jaguars. So we'll see how that goes because the Jaguars absolutely stink. But doesn't matter because the Eagles will remain at the top of the division because we are undefeated. And coming out of the bye week, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are all types of messy. And then after the Steelers, we have the Houston Texans on a short week on Thursday Night Football, so 2 Eagles games in a week. And then Monday Night Football, November 14th, against the Washington Commanders. And then the Indianapolis Colts, who are total frauds. The Green Bay Packers on Sunday Night Football, who look like big-time frauds right now. The Tennessee Titans. Then we get the Giants on December 11th at the Giants. That'll be a fun one if the Giants continue to be the team they currently are, which is pretty fascinating that they are still doing what they're doing at this point in the season. Then the Eagles go to Chicago, go to Dallas on on Christmas Eve, New Year's Day, host the Saints, and then host the Giants to end the season, which that Giants game might actually mean something now. I don't know, guys. I truly, on paper, do not see a loss right now. I truly don't. I truly do not see a loss on paper. It's crazy to think like that. But that's where we are right now. That's where we are. And taking a look at the standings, there's no better way to celebrate than with a victory Kenwood beer. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com, use the all-new and improved Kenny tracker to see who's got Kenwood beer on tap in the Philadelphia area. You got to be 21 or older to do so, and of course, please drink responsibly. The Eagles have scored 161 points so far this season, which is the most in the NFC and is the third most in the NFL, only behind the Bills and the Chiefs, who are both at 179 and 176. Chiefs at 179, Bills at 176. Eagles giving up 105 points, which is it's in the top tier ballpark of points given up this year. Somehow the 49ers have only given up 89 points. It's crazy. But looking at the rest of the NFC landscape, like Eagles are 6-0, Giants are 5-1, Cowboys are 4-2, 49ers, Rams, and Seahawks are all 3-3. The Vikings are 5-1. The Packers are 3-3. The Bucks and Falcons are 3-3. Saints are 2-4. That's great. There's no dominant team in the NFC. Like, the best division in football right now is the NFC East, with the stinky Washington Commanders even in our division. Like, no team has looked dominant at all whatsoever except for the Eagles. And you look at the AFC, the Bills are 5-1, the Jets are 4-2, the Chiefs are 4-2, the Ravens and Bengals are 3-3. The AFC South is disgusting. The Birds, baby. We're talking about the Birds. The Birds continue to Nick Sirianni, he's one of the best coaches in football right now. I just love when the Eagles dominate on a national spotlight and continue to prove all the doubters wrong, because it seems like nobody wants to believe in the Eagles, and then the national game comes around on the schedule, which the Eagles, their next 4 out of 6 games. So the Texans game, the Commanders game, the Packers game, those 3. And then obviously the Sunday night game that just happened. So 4 out of their next 6 are primetime games. You're going to have primetime November 3rd, November 14th, and November 26th. 3 out of your 4 November games are in primetime. So the world is going to see the Eagles for what they are. They're playing the Texans, the Commanders, and a bad Packers team. You should be able to go out and get the job done against all of them. The Steelers are pretty bad, and the Colts just look like it's a Jekyll and Hyde team. The next 5 for the Eagles, coming out of the bye week, relatively speaking, should be wins. Like, we could be talking about going into December with an 11-0 Eagles team, who then face the Titans, the Giants, the Bears, the Cowboys, the Saints, and the Giants. Is undefeated a crazy thing to be talking about? Yes. Is it out of the question? No. That's where we are right now. That's how good the Eagles are playing football right now. And they're not. The craziest part is the Eagles are not even playing their best brand of football yet. They're not even playing at their best yet, and they're still beating teams and making them look terrible. I don't know what else you could ask for other than let's just see what you got next. Let's see what else you got in the chamber, boys. They're not done. They're just getting started. That's the coolest part about this Eagles team. This Eagles team is just getting started. A.J. Brown gets another touchdown tonight. For you guys who are invested in our preseason bets, I obviously have the over 6.5 mark. Swole Batman's at 2 right now through 6 games. Not looking too good there. Be 7 touchdowns is what I need. So he needs 5 more over the next, how many games? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games. He needs 5 more touchdowns. So that's, we'll see how that goes. I obviously bet the Eagles win total over 9.5, which is great. It's looking real good, I should say. And the city of Philadelphia is just looking real good. The Eagles are undefeated. The Phillies are in the NLCS, and the Philadelphia Union are about to embark on their chase for a championship. The MLS Cup Conference semifinals go down for the Union on Thursday against a team who has been a big-time pain in the ass for them over the years. And years, I mean relatively recently, because they're a relatively new team, and that's FC Cincinnati. That's a team that me and Matt were talking about. Matt and I were talking about. We didn't want to see them because they give the Union fits. I want to see. All-time record. Head to head. So, I mean, head to head in 9 total matches, the Union have won 6 out of 9. Nice. Cincinnati's won 2. And there's been 1 draw. Cincinnati did win the most recent match back in August. They won 3-1. That's been the score the last 2 times they've played. I'm sorry. 3-1. They won back in August. Back in June, it was a draw. Union have not beaten FC Cincinnati since almost a year ago. Halloween 2021 was the last time the Union got a win against Cincinnati. And that was at home, which the Union will be at home, and they are undefeated at home this season, which is also really, really cool. So, I mean, the Union, like, the cool part about Philadelphia right now is everybody's together. Like, you have Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and, like, the entire Sixers team at Sunday Night Football. Joel Embiid was at the NLDS clinching game for the Phillies. Jay Wright was at the Phillies NLDS clincher to go to the NLCS. Tyrese Maxey's been making the rounds like pretty much since the summer to every single game. He was at the Flyers game. Blaze Reardon from the Wings was at the Flyers game for the opener. Rob Thompson bangs the drum at the Union or the Flyers game for the home opener. The Union are at Sixers practice the other day. The Union are at the Eagles game. Like the camaraderie and the fellowship between all 6 Philadelphia teams right now is just so cool. To just see like all of these guys caring for one another and wanting each team to succeed is so cool. Like last night, you have James Harden tweeting at Darius Slay when he gets his interception. You know, it's just so cool to see all of these guys that play for different teams, play different sports, just bonding and getting behind one another. And I truly don't know if there's been another city that does it like Philly does. Like, yeah, there's some players and guys that get behind other teams and stuff, but, like, it's every single team, every single, like, guy just gets behind one another when every team is thriving or a season is starting and, you know, the social media interactions. Like, it's just such a cool thing to see. It's one of those things that probably gets put into your mind more because of social media, but it is such a cool thing. And I was talking about it with my dad, and he said, you know, back when he was growing up, it just felt so divided. Like, nobody really cared about the other sports or anything like that. But now it's like everybody comes together and gets behind one another, and it just makes the experience of whatever success is going on in the city right now that much cooler, that much more exciting. And I'm just so thrilled that, you know, we have such cool athletes in this city that are willing to get behind one another. You have Jalen Hurts on a Sunday Night Football interview with Maria Hill wearing a Phillies hat. it's just the little cool things as a fan that you sit back and you appreciate your team and your players that much more because they really care about one another on all the different teams. It's just really, really cool. And I really hope a lot more people start to get behind this Union team because you guys know we've been talking about them all season long. They are that good. They are that good. They deserve the love and the support that the Phillies are getting, that the Sixers are getting, the Eagles, the Flyers. Like, they are the gold standard for what Philadelphia sports, what we crave them to be. And, Thursday night at 8 p.m., I hope everybody is going nuts and going crazy for the Union because nobody else will be on. Nobody else in town is playing. The Eagles don't play. The Phillies don't play. I don't know if the Sixers or the Flyers are playing on Thursday or not. But regardless, it's a playoff game. This is a chance for another Philadelphia team to bring home a championship. The Sixers' home opener is Thursday night, so people will also be enjoying that. But the Union have a chance to really do this thing and advance in the MLS Cup playoffs. Looking at the entire field here for everybody. And, they have an MVP candidate. Andre Blake is up for the MVP this year. Gazdag gets robbed of the MVP nod, but Andre Blake is up for the MVP award, which is so cool. He's up for goalie of the year. The Union have a bunch of award winners up for grabs. And you look at who else is involved in the East playoffs, like New York City, Miami, Orlando, and Montreal. And then you have the Union and you have Cincinnati. The game's on FS1. So, tune in, watch the Union on Thursday night. Flip back and forth, have a double box screen with the Union and the Sixers. It's just I'm stoked. I'm very excited for this Union team to go and show the world that they are a force to be reckoned with and should be taken just as seriously as the rest of the squad. And, you look at everything else and the Union playoff run, which you guys can get excited for with our friends over at Bino. Go to binoboard.com, BINHOBOARD.com. It's the next big tabletop game for your man cave, your she shed, your tailgates. If you whip out a Bino board at a tailgate, you're going to be the talk of the tailgate. You guys can use code BINHOUSP at binoboard.com. That's BINHOUSP for 10% off your order at binoboard.com. The Union are poised to make a run here, and they missed out on the Supporters Shield, but the fact that they have an opportunity to potentially bring home a championship for Philadelphia is super, super cool, and I hope everybody gets behind this team because they deserve it. They deserve to get the support and the backing of this city just as much as the major four sports, which the Flyers are 2-0. Shout out to them. Maybe Optimistic October is on. We'll find out on Wednesday night. We'll let you guys know if that's actually happening for the rest of October. But the Sixers are also getting underway. Their season is right around the corner, and you guys got to be looking fly at all your Sixers games you're going to this year. Whether it's your blue light glasses, your sunglasses, anything in between, go to TomahawkShades.com. That's right, our pals over at Tomahawk Shades can hook you up to be styling and profiling all NBA season long. TomahawkShades.com. Use code USP for 25% off your order at TomahawkShades.com. Sixers well on their way to another season of getting our hopes up and hopefully actually fulfilling those hopes, getting out of the second round, progressing further. But, Matt and I will talk all things Sixers on Wednesday, give you our season predictions, even though the season will be underway come Tuesday, but we'll give you, it's one game. It won't really change much. But I do have to give a shout out to the homie, former Sixer, friend of the program, underground athlete, and OG supporter of the show. Mike Scott is going to play ball over in France. Shout out to the big bro. Happy to see him getting back out on a court. I know he's going to ball out there, and very excited for this next chapter of his career for him. And also shout out to another Underground athlete, Will Parks, scores his first career NFL touchdown against the Packers on Sunday. Just doing the damn thing. The boys are buzzing. The Underground athletes are buzzing. And shout out to Philly Will, shout out to Mike Scott, and shout out to all of you. You guys can go follow us on the socials. Keep up to date with everything we're doing. We are very close to doing a big giveaway. We're almost at 3,000 Twitter followers. Go follow us on the socials at Underground PHI on Twitter and Instagram. That's Underground PHI on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311. Check out the website, undergroundsportsphiladelphia.com. Subscribe to our podcast feed on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. Let me know how you're feeling about Red October. Let me know how you're feeling about the Eagles being 6-0. Let me know how you feel about the Flyers being 2-0. Let me know your season predictions for the Sixers. Let me know how you're feeling about the Union. All in the podcast reviews on Apple. It really helps the show, helps more people find the podcast, and continues to let us do dope shit with you guys. So subscribe, and subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, which really, 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 really helps. Goes a long way with helping us continue to grow with what we're trying to accomplish here and make Underground Sports Philadelphia our full-time jobs. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Smash that like button. Ring the bell icon. Comment down below your thoughts on the Phils and Red October, the Birds being 6-0, the Sixers season. Give me your preseason predictions. Flyers 2-0, Union postseason run. Let me know how you're feeling about it all in the comment section below on YouTube, and subscribe. We're on that road to 1K. We're at 254 YouTube subscribers. We need a whole lot more, and I'm looking at you. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just search Underground Sports Philadelphia on YouTube. It's that easy. Just search. Get us to 1,000 subscribers. Big thank you to our sponsors, Main Auto LLC, Ducharme's Pro Foot, Security 21 Security Systems, Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated, and the Dental Wellness Center of Vineland. Tomahawk Shades, Pickup, Kenwood Beer, Beano Board, and Trophy Smack. All of their links and information and our promo codes are in the show notes on audio and in the description on YouTube. But this has been another Red October Victory Monday edition, episode number 473 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. I'm your boy KB. Go Phils, go Birds, go Union, go Sixers, go Flyers. Till next time, I'm getting the heck out of here, and I am signing off. Peace.